Um, do you have any contact with Dan? Because as I mentioned in my email, I talked to him and told him that this Labella thing has been pending for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Um,
it would go ahead.
no, go right ahead.
If this was adopted, then we could go forward at least in sending notes to the folks with the potentially highly valued properties and just make them aware of either conservation easements and what they might do for them and what their plans are for the property. There got to be some old time owners uh, that aren't farming anymore or aren't logging and or don't even live here that own some of these properties.
Yeah.
And it just might be the suggestion that would make them feel good about getting with a grandpa's farm or something.
I agree it's important. What I'll do is I'll put together a memo so we can officially send it to the town board and hopefully get some action. I know the town board last was it September or whenever it was when they looked at it, they found some things that weren't on the maps, and it's like, well, the maps are always going to be changing, so you just have to move forward on them. So,
Mm.
so I know it got kicked back to like the development office to update um some stuff, but I think it's nothing's been happening.
Yeah. Well, there's been, at least to me, so much turnover.
There has been.
Whether it's planning, development, code enforcement, you name it. We've had so much turnover, um, and we've lost momentum in some areas for sure.
I
And
agree.
and of course the uncertainty with the new administration and where they're going. Although I think from your and my point of view, I think they're going to be more focused on conservation and energy and so on, in spite of world or at least national attitudes about science. Uh,
I have to
what
agree.
what little we might be able to do is, but it might be refreshing.
Yeah. Um, no, I have to agree on all of that. And it's kind of kind of telling. I'm one of the older employees right now at 5 years.
Yeah, that is frightening. I mean, I started doing things with the town with Sam Casella, which had to be 20 or 25 years ago. But
So,
yeah,
but yeah, I got some feedback from Gary Kokesberger. He's traveling today, so he couldn't attend, but um what I'll do is I'll get his notes, any notes that, anything I can think of, and I'll send that out to the group.
well,
Uh,
but the other thing, and I I met with Don last week, and I said it's just so hard to populate any of these committees, whether it's you know
I agree.
you put them in the newsletter. We're looking for people on this committee or that committee or this board. Um,
I
it's
think
so
it took him a
hard.
year to find an alternate member for the zoning board.
Mhm.
So I know some of it is pretty tough. Now, the Parks and Rec, they put out a request and they filled it in like a month.
Well,
So
that's good.
that was good.
Yeah,
I think some things fill faster than others.
I know that the zoning board of appeals was a tough one to fill. uh, I actually recruited a few people, or at least got them to be interviewed.
Very cool.
Uh, oh well. Oh,
So,
oh,
go ahead.
my train of thought, and you mentioned it. I think from a distance, it appears to me that the ECB does a wonderful job.
Well, thank you.
Uh, you've got different parts of the ECB, and when I was on the planning board, I used to attend the ECB meetings because they reviewed uh, the projects that were coming up and made recommendations. And you've expanded and you do little articles about the birds or the seeds or the
Hmm.
trees and so on. Maybe this committee should just be part of the ECB or a subcommittee of the ECB because
Well, it is now.
it is officially okay.
Yep. Yeah, we voted on that at the February meeting because the town board didn't reappoint this one, and
Okay.
they didn't reappoint the tree team either. So we took that on as a subcommittee as well.
Okay.
So to try and keep it going, and it kind of fits with the ECB.
Yes, it does.
So
And you'll get input from more people.
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So so yes, so the town board doesn't have to reappoint this one anymore. It will just be the ECB. So
Okay.
so that may help too. So because it will go right to comp plan goals for the ECB. So I don't know, maybe it helps.
Were were you an employee when the CIC was in existence?
Yep, I was the secretary for the CIC for a while.
Okay. So, you know, that group was kind of a watchdog for the
Yeah.
uh, comp plan. And now that kind of is the duty of your ECB, don't you think?
At least for portions of it. Some of
Yeah.
the comp plan is, like economic or whatever, and we wouldn't be that, but
Yeah.
definitely the things that
Open spaces and
yep,
so on. Yeah. Okay.
absolutely.
Super.
So um yeah, so I think getting new members is one of the big things that I would suggest. So we just need more hands and eyes. I know it's hard. But I also think the Labella maps, getting those pushed forward so we can do the mailing is important. The planning board just had a subdivision application that they just reviewed that was I forget which road, but it borders Bloomfield, and it's got like just about every natural resource on it. And the ECB reviewed the request too. And well, we couldn't really say much about the subdivision. We did say that we would oppose any development. So
Is there sewer and water there?
no, no.
Okay.
I know that does slow down some things, but um, I think there's just places where people shouldn't build houses.
Yeah. But
I understand.
we've seen it so many times. And
Yeah.
uh, I guess we probably can't talk about it online, but like that enormous house that's on Middle Cheshire Road. What happened to the uh, guidelines on hilltops or whatever it was?
I have my opinions on that one.
Uh,
That's an offline conversation.
yeah, it's too bad. And again, people are going to live on the Middle Cheshire Road, but that doesn't seem appropriate. But
Yeah,
he could have brought it down 100 feet.
agreed.
Yeah. Ridgeline guidelines.
Yeah,
Nobody,
they
nobody, no, nobody remembers those things. or a guideline that's just meant to be fractured somehow.
I would definitely like to see some of the when they put the scenic view shed overlay in place, it wasn't meant to be the end of it. It was only meant to be the start, but nobody's gone back to that one.
Yeah. Good intentions gone awry.
Mm, not finished.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm glad you're feeling better and keep
Thank you.
keep me posted and
Okay.
I'm around.
All right. Um, yeah, I'll send out some mail and maybe we can get the at least the maps approved.
Okay. Good enough. See
Thank you,
you later.
Tom. Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.